Master Your Destiny on 99 FM.
My story, I would say, through childhood until about the age of 22 was pretty normal. Nothing exciting happened except that as I was actually at university studying for accounting. And during my final year, I had basically what I have since discovered was a panic attack. And most people didn't understand what actually went wrong with me and whatnot. So as a result of what happened then, I was in and out of hospital. People couldn't understand what was wrong with me. As you might know, coming from our background, mental issues are a little bit of a taboo in our society. If something goes wrong mentally, people just, we don't really understand what's really going on or what's at play. So as a result, I was discovered with, I was actually diagnosed at a later stage as having depression with manic episodes, which was actually what caused me to act out and stuff like that. So at that time, I discovered also that, accounting was not really what I wanted to do. And that's where the mindset actually came in. I tried to find out for myself what it is that I wanted to do. And I realized, since I was this young, I can't even say how old, sports has been my thing. I used to, whenever we go, as a family, perhaps we'd have to go somewhere, I would rush to get home to watch all the sports shows. I mean, you'd have your Formula Ones, you'd have whatever. And those things excited me. And I realized, listen, this is actually what I wanted to do. I want to be at the forefront of all of this. I wanna live a life where I know I'm in tune with all of this. In fact, so that's actually what led me now, as I'm speaking, to be a Namibian Sun sports reporter. I actually do the sports pages of Namibian Sun. I'm proud to say that I enjoy my work, because when I look at where I was when I started out, we started out at what was back then a community radio. And I didn't know I was actually going to get what I thought I wanted all along. I had to ask myself some serious questions. I had to ask myself, do I see myself doing what I do every day? This is, we're talking about your profession. This is, we spend a number of days doing that, 9 to 5. That's how many? 8 hours every day, doing something. And it's no use doing something that you're not gonna love. It's no use coming every day to work. All it does is it influences everybody else around you to be negative. And I thought to myself, that's not what I wanted to be. I wanted to be somebody who comes into the office and everybody else looks up and says, oh, okay, this guy, there's something about this guy. He makes me feel wants to come to work every day. So for me, that's the trigger that actually set me to that path to find out exactly what it is that I wanted to do. What I find with a lot of people, they tell you they're not happy about certain things, but what are they doing to change it? You ask yourself, what are you doing, actively doing? We're not talking about sitting and talking to your friends about, oh, I'm so unhappy, I want to do this and I don't find the time, I don't do what, I don't know if I'll earn enough money and all of that. If you're not happy in whatever it is that you're doing, you have to actively search out the things that will make you happy. I feel the universe works in a way that whatever you feed it, it will come back to you. You've got all of these beautiful things that are out there that tells you that whatever you wish for the next person will come back to you. And that's basically, that control that you have over it. I read once, just something that I wanted to share, where somebody says that if you smile at people, it doesn't influence only you and the person that you're smiling with. It also influences the people that are watching you smile with the other person. Wow. So imagine how much the trigger effect that actually happens over that. So I'm smiling with this person, somebody else is watching, they're smiling, and the next person is watching this other person smiling, and all of these people are smiling all of a sudden. And all of that positivity is there because of one person who decided to smile at one person.
Master Your Destiny on 99 FM.
Welcome, Afra. We are so delighted to have you on MYD. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. It feels good to be in this lovely space again.
It's so great to have you back. The last time you were here, you inspired us so much with your conversations and stories on boundaries. And it's so interesting. We've had so many people let us know that information helped them so much with setting their own personal boundaries.
I'm really glad.
We're delighted
really
to hear what
glad.
you're going to share with us today. Afra, we're talking about mindset. What is your take on mindset? How important is it to have your mind in the right place?
I think it's the number one thing in terms of anything that you are trying to achieve. I think the mindset is key. I don't think it's sufficient, but I think it's extremely important that you have, for want of a better word, your head screwed on right, and at any given time with anything you're dealing with, you might be faced with an interesting set of thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and that's just your biology as a human being. We all have thoughts, feelings, and emotions, but there's a very big difference between having them and being them. And I think that's precisely where mindset comes in, where we're able to recognize to some extent that yes, it is what it is, but it is also what you make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you don't let it define you, the circumstance that you're in.
Exactly. Yeah.
How would you have a look to see if your mindset is in the right place, to know if it's defining you?
Well, it's weird because I've just spoken about feelings, thoughts, and emotions, and how they just are, and we should let them be. And accept them for what they are. How at the same time, though, for me, I know that my mindset is in the right place when I feel good. So it's when I screw my head on straight on the days that it's screwed on straight, there's an excitement, there's a passion, there's a feeling, there's everything that's just extremely positive. And I think there's also the results. I think when your mindset is what you would like it to be in terms of what you want to achieve, you see different results, and that is it provides a sense of accomplishment, and you just want to keep going. So that's really what it is for me. Yeah.
So you would say that if you're in a space where you're feeling good, you know that you're on the right track.
I know I'm on the right track. Yes.
Mindset.
Yes.
Is there something that you do to feed yourself, to keep your mindset in a positive or in a better space, so that it's not taking away from where you're trying to go in life?
Yes. And I wasn't always as effective at it as I am now. And I mean, I know I still have a long way to go, but there are a number of tools that work for me. One of them is morning pages. So I use my morning pages as my dumping ground. And, I've been doing morning pages for many years, but never been really consistent at it. And sometime last year, it became like my meditation space. So, but it's my dumping ground. It's the space where I dump everything that bothers me, and it then allows me to be clear and ready for whatever is coming through the day. That's the one thing. The morning pages. Yeah.
And when you say morning pages, do you mean that you are writing out your dumping?
Oh, yes.
Or you're reading, or what is it?
I'm actually sitting outside on this lovely porch, listening to birds chirp at about between 5 and 6 in the morning on most days, and I'm lighting a candle and I'm dumping words on a page without thinking about it. So it's an automatic writing exercise. Not something you should really think about or spend much time on. It's just really write 3 A4 pages full of whatever it is that's coming into your mind. And that's the first step for me. What else really, really works for me is affirmations. So I spend a lot of time with affirmations and a lot of time with quotes. I just love quotes. I love quotes. I love affirmations. So I'll always pick a little something, and that will be my intention for the day, or that will be where I'll place my focus for the day.
Okay, and how do you use your affirmations? Or do you do it in the sense of you take one per day and you keep repeating it, or do you do it just before you go to bed? What is your approach?
Kirsty, I'm crazy, people. I do whatever comes. So no. So what I mean by that is, look, there's some affirmations that are key for me and that I stick to throughout. One of them is when I put out my candle, I always say I'm grateful for the blessings and the lessons of today. That is automatic. Like putting out the candle, that happens automatically. And I think it's really dependent on what it is that I'm dealing with. Sometimes it's easy to switch my mind again and to get back into that space. Sometimes it's not. And when it's not, then I have to use a lot more tools to deal with whatever I'm dealing with. One of the tools actually being to also just be in the space that you are, so that sometimes if you are feeling horrible, to not fight that, but actually to let that be. But affirmations, sometimes I will repeat them consistently. Especially if I need to get something out of my mind, then I'll just keep saying that thing over and over and over again, so that I don't have these other thoughts coming in, almost like a mantra kind of thing, And sometimes I'll write them out. On occasion, I have written the same affirmation over and over and over again, or I've written a set of 5 that I just keep repeating, depending on the areas that I'm dealing with and what I need to get right.
Perhaps if somebody listening has never heard about affirmations before, what's your explanation? How would you describe what an affirmation is?
An affirmation is really, it's a positive statement made in the present tense, so acting as though something that you want to achieve has already happened. In the first person, so it must be relative to you. Generally short and sweet, using positive words. That's what I would call an affirmation. Really important that it is something that resonates with you. Because, I can have an affirmation that means absolutely nothing to you, and you could be repeating it over and over and over, and it does nothing for you. And I have found affirmations to be very, very powerful.
Master your destiny on 99 FM.